Um, First of all, Candido, Rafael, I'm sorry. Tell me your name and where you were born and a little bit about you, even your family. Your father died, I think, when you were 6.
It's right, right.
Yeah, so just go ahead and tell me your story about you.
Yes, my name is Rafael Morales Mendoza. In Mexico, we use the mother's last name, and my mother was Mendoza. And I was raised in a town with the name Tequistepec, in the district of Huapan de Leon, state of Oaxaca, Mexico. And I stayed in my town for all my the first years, and I went to school in my town, and we don't have a very big school. We have the primary only, but to me it was wonderful, I attended the school, and I keep in reading and writing as the way, I can go through my life, the way I am, but anyway, after I get 16 years old, I lose my father. And when I lose my father, I feel like I am the responsible to help my mother to support the rest of the family. I have 4 sisters and no brothers, and my mother, And I had to try hard to bring money to survive, the rest of our lives. And my mother depends very much on me. And I have a very good luck. I start to make a contract with the post office and make a contract to transportate the mail. I transported the mail from my town. The next town was San Juan Yolotepec. The next one was Santa Catarina Chinango. The next one was Santa Gertrudis Cosoltepec. And other one is Chichihualtepec from Oaxaca. And the next one is Totoltepec, Puebla, the Puebla state. Well, I transported the mail for 3 days a week, and I had to go and come back in the same day. It was more or less, but 30 miles of distance, 35 or 40 miles of distance. I can say. But anyway, it was a very, very good walking. I started 4 o'clock in the morning, 4:30, and come back in the night by 10 o'clock in the night.
You walk?
I walking, yeah. And sometimes, sometimes we have a lot of mail to carry. And I used to have a donkey, and sometimes I take my donkey, sometimes I take my horse, but a lot of times I carry all those things in my back. And it was very hard. But I was feeling very important because, when I cross in the towns, San Juan Yolotepec, Chinango, Cosoltepec, these towns, they don't have any way of transportation, In those days, we don't have cars, we don't have telephone, we don't have big drugstore or nothing. They depend on what they give from the other towns, the bigger towns. And they asked me, please bring me some medicine from that town, bring it here. Or some others say, please take this to my daughter is teaching up there in Cosoltepec, from Yolotepec, And those kind of service, I do that, and I feel pretty good when I transportate those things or bring something to them, But I really have to work pretty much, in those days. And I was working like that at about 4 years. After 4 years, I find somebody to take my job, and I went to start one store in the next town, Sad o Tequistepec, and his name of that town was Miltepec, Oaxaca, Mexico. In those days, it was about 20 years, 21 years. And I started one store, a grocery store in that town. And I had pretty good luck. When I started alone, and working in the day, in the store, and in the evening, I take my horse and go to the next town to get what I need. Take my donkeys, with me to carry the things I needed. I come in the morning and open the store again, and I have a pretty hard time to keeping going the store. But I have a good luck, and the store get big, grow up, and before I only had one donkey. But in the last part of those years, I have 14 donkeys and one horse, and those 14 donkeys, they do wonderful job, because sometimes I split it in half, 7 donkeys in one group and 7 in the other, and sometimes I send 7 donkeys to Oaxaca de Leon to get merchandise, and some others I send them to Tehuacan to bring others here. And it's the way I was living in those days, but like I said, the store grew up and it did very good. But,
what year were you born?
I was born in 1919.
Let me take it up.
To sneeze.
Very good, very good.
Okay, we're rolling again, Gaye.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and the store grew up. The store working beautiful. Oh, and when I started alone. But later, my mother, my sisters, they came and helped me, and we make a good team working in the store. Because sometimes they stay, I had to go to the cities to buy things I need, and everything make a very good team. But all the time after my father died, I was thinking to get married. I don't know. I like to have a son. My father's name was Candido, and I like it very much to have a son with that name. And I was thinking to get married. Well, I talked to my mother. I told my mother, and I told one friend, very close friend I have out there, what I wanted. I want to get married. And I see this girl, Concepcion, and I asked them to come into the way, we used to do in those years, to come in and the parents to ask for hang a concession, And they came with me, and we went up there, and we talked to her mother, and after 3 or 4 times, and talking, the mother and his brother, they say, it's all right, we can get married. I guess it stayed like that about a year, After 1 year, we got married. We got married June the 22nd, 1944. June the 22nd, 1944. We got married. When I got married, I really have a wedding. I wish my kids having the same that wedding was. The thing is, the way my personality is, I like to have friends. When I walk into those days from Tequistepec, Yolotepec, Chinango, Cosoltepec, Chichihualtepec, Totoltepec, the Puebla State, in every town I make friends. They have a lot of friends, and especially the ones play music. some they play guitar, some they play violins, and some singing, you know, and I join together with them. A lot of occasions, you know, when they celebrate something in their town, they stop me, say, "Why do you stay over here this evening with us? We're going to play for the people," and I join to them. Well, that making easy for me to make friends. And I mention those towns, but also I make a lot of friends, musician friends, in Concepcion's town, Miltepec, and also in the towns next to Miltepec, like Cuyotepeji, Suchitepec. I have friends, musicians over there. I don't know, but they show they like me very much, and I like them too, very, very much. When I get married, you know, the people came from those towns. They bring different groups, you know. And the Concepcion's town, they have a band, you know, with band with the older people, you know, and band from my town, Tequistepec, band from Miltepec, you know, they make a big noise. Big noise. My mother and all the people, they help me to prepare something for eat, you know. They was very busy, you know, for that, you know. But I tell you, it's very hard. I don't know how I did. My mother was alone, you know. My mother was alone with my sisters, you know. But I don't know how we did to make that big celebration, you know. It's something we don't forget. That things is why, you know. Not only Concepcion and I try to stay together. Maybe the friends also, they tie us up, and they talking about our wedding, you know, the good times, bad times we have in the life, you know, and maybe those things make us stay 51 years now, you know.
Did you have a party last year?
Very small, very small. I never have a big party. This is small, the family only, you know. But like I said, it was very nice. And we have the first son, after I got married, I had the first son, Candido. And I asked her to name him, the same I was wishing, you know, Candido, you know. And after that, you know, I wish to have other son. And, you know, I asked my wife, I gotta have other son. I don't know how she did, but anyway, she have the other one. It's a Hugo, you know. Yeah, and very nice, very nice. And I was thinking, those kids, I was hoping to go to school and be something, you know. But in those days, I never thought I'm gonna come to this country. I never thought. I thought maybe in Mexico I'm going to find a way to educate my kids, you know. But later on, you know, like I said, they asked me to come and be a city mayor in my town, you know. That make it very hard because, you know, they don't pay us nothing. We have to serve, you know. And I don't know, I like it very much to be optimist. I don't know if you heard that word. But you know, I don't want to stay home, and I want to work with the people. I want to talking to them about make a road. I was talking to them to bring a telephone line. I was talking to them to find a way to have electricity in the town. And in those days, I was dreaming to have a small airport in my town. All those dreams, you know, some they coming true, some not. But anyway, it's the way I was living, it's the way I was act, you know. And that making hard for my wife because she don't have the way to buy what we need to eat, you know. And she gotta make a heads. She make a heads to sell the heads and buy something for eat, you know. They have a very, very, very hard time, my wife with me. Well, it's a lot of days, you know. Stay all day long in the office, you know. I don't have no time to go to my house. But you know, was bad for my wife, especially, and for my kids. For me, I think it's the best days I've been living in my life. Yeah, because I'm working with my people.
Well, you still are, in a way, aren't you? You still
Yeah, that's right, that's right. But those days was very, very interested for me. Yeah, very interested. And after that, we when I finished that period, I talking to my wife, and I told him, well, we can find a way to make a living. Over here it's hard. I don't know. Be better. I go to the north. And she said, well, it's okay. It's what you decided. I think be all right. You go. And she gave me the okay. And I start October the 4th in the morning early, 1950. I left my wife home. And start coming, to the different towns up to Tehuacan. And Tehuacan, I took the bus and coming this way, But I get in, October the 12th, I get in the border in Mexicali. I came in the train, I took the train in Guadalajara. In those days, the train, they go pretty slow. Took me 6 days to get from Guadalajara to Mexicali. It was very hard. The chair not very good. It's a wood chairs, It was very, very hard, And we don't have very good place to sleep and those things. When I get in the Mexicali, I was pretty tired and kind of sick, But, when I get there, I was, somebody told me we have a bracero contracts in the border in Mexicali. But when I get there, I find out no more contracts over there. They move into Irapuato, Guanajuato, and they don't make any contracts over there for braceros. Well, I started thinking to find the other way to come. But it was very good. We have a park over there close to the border. His name, the park is Héroes de Chapultepec. And that park, is a pretty big area, I meet a lot of guys there. The same idea I have, the same idea. Some they care one piece of clothes.
We've got a light now on his face.
Yeah, I've been looking at that. They kind of roll through.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's not that it's objectionable as I since we've stopped. Okay, we're set.
Yeah.
Back to the park.
Back to the park. Yeah. In the areas of Chapultepec Park, I find a lot of guys, around a man with a typewriter, write letters. And I was wishing to have a typewriter and do the job that guy doing, because they pay $1, to make one letter, But I don't have no typewriter, And also, I was watching, what the guys try to tell to their families. They tell their families the same problems I already have. They say, well, I don't cross the border because it's very hard to cross the border. I don't find very much to eat. I don't have no place to sleep. I stay here in the park. I meet a lot of guys, but they saying me. They don't have nothing. And I hear what they say to the others. I was wishing to tell the same thing to my wife, or maybe I told him, in a different letter, But I hear the same thing, the same thing happened to me, the same some others, Well, in that park, I meet a guy coming from Guanajuato. He said it was a young fellow, but 24, 25 years old. And he told me he coming from the University of Guanajuato. And he said his father tried hard to keep him in the university, but he don't want. He wants to come to the United States and try something different. Well, I find out he's very smart gentleman. You know, I find out to be the best guy to join with them and start cross the border, and I did. He's, you know, he is very smart guy. He started to speak English, you know. Myself, I don't speak nothing in those days, and I cross the border with him. You know, we cross the border, and some nights, you know, when we don't have nothing to eat, we had to eat green orange over there. We had to sleeping in the hay bales, you know, in the top of those. And sometimes we crossing with, they already have a camp, some braceros over there in Westmoreland, in Brole, Calipatria. They already have a camp over there, the braceros. And that guy, you know, he don't mind to go and ask him for something. I remember he stopping and said to the others, amigos, please give us something to eat. Give me a little bit of flour. I'm making my tortillas, but you give me some flour. Give me something to eat. We really need it. And the guys, they don't say no. They say yes. They give it to him, and he already know how to make the tortillas. I never make tortillas before myself, but he showed me. He showed me how. He showed us how to make the tortillas, and we eat sometimes, you know, a couple times or more times over there that way, you know. Some others, I remember in those days, they give us $1. He said, you can have this $1. Maybe you buy something to eat. And I remember those days with $1, you know, we buy a load of bread, we buy a couple Coca-Colas, and we buy a peanut butter. We buy peanut butter with $1, you know. And those days, they're not very expensive, you know. And we eat good, you know, and we spend the night. But, you know, one time we find it, because, you know, the guys they crossing the border, some good guys, some bad guys, you know, and sometimes they stole something from the others, and people they not too sure what kind of people we are. I remember one night, you know, we get in one camp, and I told them, please give us a permit to spend the night over here, and they have a very bright light in the front, and he said, well, behind this house is a big car. You can go there and you can sleep in there. But inside, I don't give you permit, because, you know, some other guys, they come and stole my shoes, they stole things, you know, and I don't want that. And, you know, we walking behind the house, and, you know, was a big hole full of water. You know, I was walking in the front, you know. I went inside the hole, you know. I get all wet. And the other guy, you know, he helped me to get up from the hole, you know. But, you know, my clothes all wet, you know. And it was kind of late, about 8 o'clock, you know. I remember I spent pretty bad night that night, because all wet. I don't have no way to get dry, you know. And but 3 in the morning, I told the other guy, well, I see a light pretty far away, you know, some stone burned up. I told him, I had to go over there with that light, because it's too cold. And we went over there, and, you know, I lay down close to the fire, that fire, you know, is the way I sleep, and sleep in a little bed, you know. But cases like that, you know, we have some bad times. But later on, you know, I try hard to cross the border, and the immigration, they come and say, "Oh, Mexicano, you have papers?" I told him, "No, well, come into the bus, you know." He put him in the bus and take me to the line, you know, in Mexicali, in Calexico. He put me in the line, you know, and make me go to Mexico, you know.
You told me once that in 6 months that you went back and forth, that they deported you 25 or 30 times.
That's correct. That's correct. That's the way I did. They deported me about 24, 25 times, you know. And I get tired for that. I never make money. In those days, my wife, she write me letters and she say, "Well, I have a hard time to feed the kids. I need it. You send me money. And, you know, I don't have nothing, not enough to eat myself, you know." It was really bad, you know. And after I'm finding up there in Mexicali one day, I finding somebody told me, he said, "Well, you know a little bit about music. You can play music and make more money and make a better living." And I can't believe to him, you know. And I went to the union of the musicians. I went to the union and tell them, you know, I can play violin or play guitar and let me join to one of the groups. And they said, "Yeah, sure, come and join to us and go to one group and play, you know." They put me to working with the mariachi, you know. But, you know, in Oaxaca we don't have mariachi, you know. I don't know very much about mariachi myself. I know a little bit of music, but I don't know very much about mariachi, you know. But anyway, I spent about 2 weeks with them. They're very nice people to me. They treat me good, you know, but really I don't help them very much, you know, because the music is kind of fast, you know, and I don't know very many songs, you know, to sing with them, and that's why I decided to move in some other area, you know. I looking for job in the orchestra, and I found another group, and I went up there and I played the guitar. That was a little better, you know. But anyway, it's in those days, you know, the people or the union, very few people know how to write and read. They know the music, but they don't know very much about read and write, you know. And, you know, I was in my town, where City Maya, I learned something. And I know how to type letters, you know, and things with one finger, you know. But anyway, I do things like that, you know. And I told him, "Yeah, I can help you. I help you. I write you books and do whatever you needed to do. I can do."
Is this
Well,
in the union office?
in the union office, the musicians, you know. Well, they gave me right away. They said, "Well, you're gonna be the Secretario General. Secretary General." Well, it's very nice. Well, I'll tell you, the things change, you know, because everybody with the problems they have, they coming to me. A lot of fights in the groups, you know, they have. The groups, they be about 6 to 8 to 10, you know. But sometimes they get drunk or something, they have something and they fight between one another. They don't want to play with them anymore, and I had to do that job of moving one man to the other place, and it was my job, you know. And they don't pay me, but anyway, that give me a personality to me, because, you know, well, I was very good, but I had in my mind to come to the United States. In those days, you know, they give me the credential, Secretario General, you know, the chrome, you know, the musicians, you know. And I went to the immigration, across the border, you know. I told them, "Well, I'm the secretary of the musicians, and I needed to go to the United States to buy some instruments." And the immigrant said, "Well, you can buy out here in San Isidro." No, I want to go more far. They say in Stockton is when they have more cheaper instruments, and I don't have very much money. I gotta go there. Okay, so I'm gonna give you permit. And give me to come in here to Stockton, you know. I came in the first time, I stopped in Fresno and coming to Stockton, and I went back and I give it to them the permit. But next time I make a plans. I thought we where I go now and find a way to stay over there, you know. And it's the way I did. I came, you know, to the United States and start to looking for job, you know, in the farm. And I was working in the area of Stockton. But you know, over there in Stockton, this really was hard. We have to use the shorthand hoe, you know, shorthand. And you know, when I was about 13 years old, I was making adobes kind of bricks, you know, to building my house, you know. And chunk of dirt, they come and they cover me up and broke my leg and my back over here. When they give me that job, you know, with the hoe, this really was pretty hard for me because I had to bend it, you know, all day long, you know. And we have roads about a mile long, you know.
They're not legal now, are they?
No, right now, no. But in those days, tell you, and I'm working that way with the hoe up there in Imperial Valley, and also over here in Stockton, and those islands we have over there, you know. And it's really hard, you know. And, you know, I'm Catholic, you know. I believe in the religion, and I ask God, you know, to help me to change a job, finding another job, you know. And but I try many things, you know, over there. I working in the vegetables, you know, lettuce and onions and peppers and corn and things. But and also I picking potatoes, you know. I find out, you know, in the field potatoes, you know, a lot of young girls, but I say 18 to 20, 24 years old, they're working like a man, yeah. They give me, you know, 100 sacks, you know. 50 in one side and 50 in the other, and we pull one and put it in the mill and fill it up and leave it there and go ahead with the next one. And the same thing the girls they're doing, you know. Oh, they do better than me because, you know, they have experience, you know. But, you know, the dirt over there in the valley, it's kind of greasy, you know. You know, when we started there, you know, everybody see the face one another. But in 2 hours, we only see the eyes. We only see the eyes, you know, all black, you know, the dirt they're sticking in the face, you know. And the same, you know, after we finished the day, we had to go to find a hotel to sleep in Stockton. But we find a hotel to sleep. But we had to take a shower. After that, we had to go to the restaurant to eat. And we don't make very much money. We got to pay the hotel. We got to pay the restaurant. We don't have much left. Also, you know, many people in those days looking for job. You know, we mixing also, you know. Some guys, they're really looking for a job, and also with the same problems I have, I guess, to support their families. But some others, you know, those guys, they're drinking all the time. We call them whiners, you know. And they're drinking all the time. And they have a little bottle over here with them. When the men, the ranchero come looking for the guys to help them, everybody gone. No, nobody asking how much you're gonna pay, what kind of job we're gonna make. So they don't ask nothing. And if we start to ask something, they don't take it. Everybody, I working with that people, you know. Go join to them and go, you know, and see any kind of job we find it, you know. Well, I don't like that very much, and still keeping pray, you know, and ask God to help me to find another job. And I was there, you know, one day in the morning I went to the church, to the mass, and when I come back, you know, I start walking on the streets of Stockton, and I find in a truck with a group of workers, there talking to them, and I went to asking, what you guys doing over here? Well, he said, we're going to go to Santa Rosa. You go to Santa Rosa? Yes, we go to Santa Rosa. He said, we're going to pick prunes. Oh, well, they don't need any more. I don't have no job. Sure, he said, talking to the boss. Yeah, he might take him with you. Well, I went talking to the boss. He said, yes, let's go. I'm going to go pretty quick. And I told him, well, I had 2 more friends in the hotel. You give me a chance to go get him and go with us. Okay, he said, you go get him. I went to get the other guys, in the street. They coming with that group, We came into Grace Ranch, Grace Brother Ranch. You have an idea.
I have the picture, the photograph, the
You-
picture that you with the prune trees.
It's the prune
That's where it
trees.
was.
That's right. Yeah. Well, we came in over there, and I remember when I came over here, I just had 50 cents in my pocket. 50 cents, and in the evening, I came hungry. I asked a Mexican fellow was over there. I told him, how I can find something to eat. I had 50 cents. Well, he said, let me talk to the boss. Maybe we find something. Well, when he come back, he said, no, the boss is he's going to buy the dinner for you guys. Then he went to get a bunch of hamburgers, and we eat, I don't spend my 50 cents. And next day, they put a board, and they feed us, they collect the money at the end of the week. And, well, I keep my 50 cents. I have, but I have a very good luck, I tell you. I have a very luck. Well, but I don't forget my wife, was along over there, and my kids. And I start, I write letters, lots of letters to her, and tell and explain to her. Probably sometimes she don't believe me. Probably sometimes she don't believe me, because it's pretty hard, to believe what I say, that far, and so many days was far from the home, But anyway, I try to explain her what happened. Well, we passed the harvest, the prune harvest. We finished that, and after that, my other 2 friends, they said, well, it's time to go. We better move, because over here it says too cold, and the winter is too cold. We gotta go. I told him, well, and you guys go, but I don't gonna go. I'm gonna stay here. Well, you crazy. Where are you gonna work? Oh, I'm gonna find a job. I stay here. Well, the other guys left, and I start thinking, how are we gonna find a job over here? And, one morning I walking, in next road south of Grace Ranch. I find a man walking over there, and was Mr. Harold McLeish. And he speak very little Spanish, And, yes, patrón, necesito trabajar. He said, well, you know how to drive tractor? No, I don't know how to drive tractor. Well, what you know? Well, I come from Oaxaca, and I know some things, but I don't know very much. Well, he said, well, I'm going to give you a job to you. And he went to buy a big hacha. He said, I'm going to buy a tool. He said, maybe you can do some work. He went to get it, and second day I working for him. He said, he went into the orchard, it's a prune orchard. And he said, he pointed me, but he's speaking in English, He pointed me the dead trees, prune trees, and the green trees, And he pointed too much to the green trees. But I don't know what he said, And he took off. He went. He said, well, you working over here. I go do something else. I come back later. And I thought maybe he told me to cut all the green trees, you know. And this is what I did. I cut about 20 green trees, fruit trees, you know, prune trees. And when he come back, you know, it's enough to kick me up. And yeah.
A little bit about your family and how they came, and
yeah,
because we're up to about 1955 now, something like that.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Just kind of bring us up to.
Finish the story about the prune trees.
Yeah.
Okay.
What happened to you?
Yeah. Well, like I said, you know, Mr. McLeish, I expect that maybe he gonna get pretty excited, you know, about what I did, you know. But he don't say very much, you know. He said, oh, he laughed about me. And it was one time. Second time, I told Mr. McLeish, well, Mr. McLeish, I want to drive a tractor. I wish to learn how to drive a tractor. Okay, I'm going to let you drive a tractor. But he said, the first time you go in the mill, no go close to the trees. Because if you scratch the trees with a disc, the trees are going to die. Okay. Well, one day, you know, I was doing in the mill, you know, but one day he went to have a lunch, and I say, I'm going to try and go close to the trees. Maybe I can do better because I see the line go pretty straight. Well, you know what I did? I scratched all the trees in one row, about 80 trees, you know. Oh, my God. When he come back, you know, also again, he just laugh, you know. He just laughing. Well, he understand, you know. But after that, you know, we start to be friends. He start to learn more Spanish, and he come and visit me. You know, I was alone. He come and visit me in my cabin, and we joined together. We went to school. I started to go to school in Hillsborough, and after that, after a year, I think I tried to get my citizenship papers, and I started to go to the college in Santa Rosa. And he said, well, I learned for pilocy. I want to drive my airplane. We better go together. You go to the English class, I go to the pilot class, and we go together. Well, but three times a week we go to the college in Santa Rosa. And the other 3 nights, he came to my house. He moved his table in my cabin, you know. He studied what he has to learn, you know, his homework. I do my homework too, you know. We're working together. And also he like to eat something I eat. My frijolitos, my beans, you know, and something, you know. He like to eat also with me. I feel pretty good to me, you know, make me feel good, you know. And Mr. McLeish treat me good. Mrs. McLeish also, you know, they don't have no kids, you know. And a lot of occasions like Easter Sunday, Thanksgiving, and Christmas, New Year, they invite me in their house. Only me, you know. I eat together with them. I eat piece of cake. Mrs. McLeish used to cooking delicious cakes, you know. He gave me a dinner over there. Also, she showed me how to plant the garden, you know. She showed me how to plant, when to plant, the right time to plant a garden. And all those things, you know, was beautiful to me. When I start talking about bringing my wife, you know, Mr. McLeish, he was in my side, you know. I'm going to help you. I want to help you bring your wife, your kids. And he signed the papers, and you know. And when my wife came, you know, she came and stayed with us for moments, you know, and they treat me really very good. We miss him very much, you know. And after, when he passed away, you know, friends, they say, well, you don't have to stay on the ranch all the time. You better go find another job. But Mr. McLeish was alone, you know. She still have the ranch. You know, they can sell the property right away, you know. They gotta take a time, you know, to find out how to sell the property. And I thought, well, I think I'm going to stay here and help her, you know. Well, I learned, you know, how to, in those days we had the mechanical harvest, you know, and I learned how to pick in the prunes and everything. I learned more, you know. I had to go to Colusa to get parts, you know, for the machine and things. And I get along good with Mrs. McLeish, you know. Dr. Meyer and Dr. Grant, Donald Grant, came in, and the nephews of Mrs. McLeish, and they supervised me, but they treat me good. Dr. Donald Grant is the first one. They bought me health insurance for me and for my family, because I told him, it's all right, you don't pay me very much, but please give me one insurance for me and my family. It was very hard, you know. And he did. It started, changed my life. When they sold the property, you know, I was in 1970, 1972, 71, 72, I can't remember exactly. Well, the first thing he make with the deal, I said, well, you buy the ranch. He told to Mr. Strong, Ron Strong, you buy the property, is correct. But you had to give me a job for this man, let him live in the house Mr. McLeish building for them, and give health insurance to them. And they said yes, and he was supervised for you. He said he gonna be supervised for us too.
Now this was shown.
All right, fine.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, in those days, Dr. Grant and Dr. Meyer and Mrs. McLeish, they make a deal with Mr. Ronnie Strong, with Windsor Vineyards, to buy the property. And the same time, they asked the new owners, they asked him to give me a job to me and give me a place to live and give me insurance for my family. And also give me a job farming over there, you know. And they treat me good. Mr. Ronnie Strong, Mr. Richard McDowell, you know, was the manager, you know, and he really treat me good. I get along with him, and we working for all those McDowells. We working for Tang McDowell, and also for Patricio McDowell, and all those brothers, you know. But we get along fine. Also, we working together with Roy Davis, you know, the one take care now the Vino Farm, you know. We working together, and we don't have no problem. Get along fine. And like I said before, you know, I was thinking, you know, it's going to be hard to help my kids to get the education, you know, but thanks God, I found a way, you know, to send them to school. They went to the school in Hillsborough, Candido, and Hugo. And, well, we talking, I guess, before about him, you know, how he act, and he was the president of the school body in the school, and he gave that, what is the name? Well, he found the money to go to Harvard, a scholarship, you know, a scholarship. We spent 7 years up over there, and I think we feel pretty good. And the rest of my family, you know, the young girl, the girls, they went to St. John's School in Hillsborough, and also they went to Ursuline. And I don't know how I did, but you know, the friends also, they helped me. Like Mrs. Butcher, you know, for the day over there, Joe Butcher. Yeah, she used to send the girls over there in the school in Ursuline, and she offered me a ride for my girls, you know. And a lot of times I use her service, you know, to take my daughters to the school. And they went through that school, and they get good material to go to college, you know. They went to
all of you
all my kids, you know.
went to college.
They went to college, yeah. They went to college, and I think I feel pretty happy myself and my wife, you know, because my kids they do it very good, you know.
You got a MacArthur grant, didn't you?
Yeah, it's right. And surprise, well, you know, they give recognition for what he been doing, you know. And now he's he and the radio programs, but also they had a program with the satellite, and they have it for 1 hour, you know. He get contact with many other radio stations like Puerto Rico, Florida, Chicago, and Calexico, Bakersfield, Modesto, Salinas.
So it's going to Latinos all over the United States.
Yeah, almost. And last week they talking about contact with Portland, Oregon, and it's very big, you know. I think it's a beautiful thing, you know, because we can see the opinions on one side and the other, and we get together and keep the people together, you know, for good, you know, for good.
Tell us, you still work on the same ranch?
Yeah. Well, I tell you, I never moved. I moved myself. I had to come out here because I was thinking, you know, I'm 76 years old, you know, but when I was 73, I was thinking it's time to put my wife in the right place, you know. And 20 years ago, we bought this place, you know, and we start to fix it a little bit, you know. And we rented in those days, but 3 years ago I told my wife, you better go to the house and you better stay in your house. In case something happened to me, you're going to stay in your house. And it's why we moved over here, but my job is still there. My job is still there. We still working in the vineyard, right now in the vineyard. Tomorrow we're going to try to finish the carbonate, picking the carbonate. Maybe no tomorrow, but tomorrow and Friday probably we finish. We have a carbonate to pick, yeah. And now, also in the vineyard we have some kind of progress, you know. We learn more, you know, about the grapes. We learn more. We trellising the grapes a little different, you know, and produce more. And also, you know, Mr. Shire, is the main boss, you know, he approved to buy a machine to picking grapes. Yeah.
Tell me something now. Talk to me a little bit about how immigrant labor has changed from the time that you came in the Bracero program. How is it different now?
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what I like the way it was. I like the way it was when I first came. In 1953, 55 to 60, I like the way it was. Because, you know, people come over here from Texas, from San Bernardino, from some other big towns and close to the border. They come into for the fruit season, prune season, you know. And they camping over there. They're camping over there on the ranch. They're working together. The father, the mother, the kids, you know. I remember, you know, they celebrate the birthday, one girl, birthday, one boy, one of the parents, you know, the birthday, in that period, you know. They celebrate together over there. They break the piñata there, you know. And also the same thing, they're working together. They're working together. Noontime, everybody underneath the one tree, they turn around the bucket and sit down, and they have a lunch over there. Maybe not the best quality food, but they're working together. They're working together. I think I like the idea. You know, I think one of the problems we have right now with the kids is because, you know, they separate the parents with the kids, you know. Now we can let the kids come into the fields anymore, you know. They don't let us use the kids, you know. And, you know, the mother will work one way, the father go other way. The kids, they don't have enough supervision.
So there's no families.
No family. I think it's something we can missing, you know, from those days. I think those days was the best for my family. It's the way I raised my family. Working with my wife, and we eat together there. Also, we go to the ocean, we go to the river, to the beaches, you know, and the weekends. We sit down close to the river, you know, we have a lunch, you know, all the family together. Right now, the kids, they go in one direction, they don't know where the parents are, you know? Yeah. Yeah.
Talk to about Danny and Daniel and some of the.
Oh, yeah. Well, I tell you, I miss Daniel. Was very nice friend of mine, and also was a very nice person in the Spanish-speaking community, or I say the Mexican community. He tried to get the people together and celebrate the Independence Day, make a dance or something. But especially as he concentrate very much time on the kids. They try hard to keep them together and play the football, you know. I think it's wonderful. In those days when Daniel was alive, you know, they have a hard time. And the schools, you know, they don't let us play too much or use too much at the camps, you know. We have a hard time. He has a hard time. Right now, you know, we have maybe too much because all the parks and all the schools, you know, they let the people go over there and play, you know. But at those days when Daniel was here, they have a very hard time. Daniel Novella, es correcto. And also Benny Carranza was very important in this community. When I first came out here in 1955, I went with the rancheros in West Side. I went to get their men over there in Santa Rosa, in the Veterans Memorial Building around, you know. I remember see about 20, 25 Greyhound buses coming with the people. And I see Benny, I remember, he very busy talking to one group and talking to the other, you know, because in those days was the only person who speak both language, English and Spanish, you know. And I forget the name of his boss.
Don Mills.
Don Mills, yeah, Mr. Don Mills, that's correct. Yeah, and it was very, very important. And well, I said he was very nice to me, very good friend. And my wife, she good friend from Benny's wife, Benny's daughter. They're working together in the apples, that's correct? They're working together in the apples, and we always have things to remember. Benny Vera, Tom's wife, also. With the time we meet them, I meet her in the school. I meet her in San Rosa Junior College. I mean, we studying for the citizenship papers, you know. I meet her, and after that, I introduce her to my wife, and we very close friend with the Vera family, Nicomedes, Heriberto Vera, and Tomas Vera. And their wife, you know, we get together, and we really, I think Benny was very, very hard worker, you know, very hard worker. He working very hard to make his family grow. Yeah.
While you're doing that, I'll change tape.
Okay, what I'm going to ask.
Okay, we're ready to go.
Yeah. Well, I think from those days until now we have a very much difference, you know. And the Braceros were very good protected, I think, very good protected. And after when we get the time, you know, many people get the permit for work. I think this was very nice. But after that, there started coming more people, more people. And we say they are illegal, because they don't have no documents, And those kind of people are really worried about them. I worry about them because, they don't have any protection. They don't have no security to stay out here next day, because anytime the government can got them, and send them to the border, And I really recommend. When they ask me, some friends, they ask me, say, what you think about my brother wants to come? I told them, no, we better know. We better know because, they're going to come and we can secure a job for one of them or nothing. How are we going to find a house for them? Also, it's very hard to find a house because they have to pay a rent. Where are they going to get the money to pay the rent? And all those things, is why I told them, we better know. And a lot of times, we give some money and tell them, we better go home, stay home, try to find something better up there in our country, because I still calling my country Mexico, And I told him we better find something different over there. But I stay there because over here it really is very difficult, very difficult. But really it's very hard to stop. Especially this year we almost finished. It was very, very hard for all Mexico. People, they have a hard time to survive, and especially those from Michoacan and Oaxaca. Especially La Mixteca. When we say Oaxaca, Oaxaca have a very, very good areas, like the people live up there close to the Pacific, Well, they have a fish, they have a water to irrigate their corn, their beans, or their vegetables. But over here in La Mixteca, we don't have very much. We don't have grass for the animals to eat and to survive. Sometimes we don't have no water to drink. We don't have no water to take a bath,
Now you have talk a little bit about how you have helped the school and your...
Oh, yeah, sure. Well, something I never forget. I'm citizen. From 1960 to now, I'm citizen of the United States. I like this country because they help me. They help me to change the living of my family altogether. They help me to have the education and things. But I can't forget my time when I was born, especially when I know they're very poor. They need a lot of things, to keep on going. My town, Tequistepec, the first, when they established my town was 1,600. It was established the town of Tequistepec. Was living more than 300 years when the revolution in 1910, a lot of groups coming, they say, I'm Zapatista, I'm Carrancista, and things, and they come into the towns and stole the animals, stole the money, take the abuse of the families and those things, And in those days, they burned around my town. May the 27th, 1914, they burned around my town, complete. They burned around the whole thing. My new Tequistepec, my new town, all have only 81 years. And that's why I feel I had to help my town. I had to help my people. And not only me. I preached to my countrymen. I told them, we gotta get together. And we had to bring some help to my kids. And I had the support from my wife. My wife supported me in my ideas. And we've been helped. We were pretty lucky, I get a friendship with the governors of Oaxaca. in the last 10 years. You know, I don't looking for job with the governor. No, I don't gonna get nothing from the governor. What I'm looking for is to help my town, help my people, you know.
And you go back.
Sometimes, not very much. Sometimes. They ask me to come. But
Candido goes.
Candido does, yeah, but not very often, you know, because we have responsibilities right here. But you know, I say we can't forget that, and we're very lucky. We have the city hall, you know. We work in the secondary school, and also now we working in the museo comunitario, and also el kinder. My wife bought a lot, you know, one lot. When I came in here, when the little money is sending up there, she's saving, and she bought a land. And we give it to the kids to build in their school, you know. And I think it was very nice. It was very nice. I think it's very, very good, you know. And like I say, we don't forget. We try also. We try over here to give friendship with the people. We get friendship. We working together all here also with the church. I've been helped St. John's.
Now you are the patron, huh?
Have other patron. That's correct. Yeah. I working with Guadalupe Church, you know. We have the people, you know. And something good, you know, in the churches. We go over there and we pray together. We have the chance to see how the others are, you know. And I think this is nice. We get together in the church, you know. I'm very, very happy for that. But also I thank you very much for. Let me to tell you all these things, you know. Very hard to remember sometimes. Very hard.
No, that's great. Thank you. That's
Thank
good.
you. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.